Hello Recruit, and welcome to an Astroneer Academy Extra. Today's course serves as an update to our previous discussions surrounding basic transportation, and will introduce a new Rover seat that is unlocked through a special mission chain, along with a massive vehicle-related structure. If you are following Astroneer Academy from the playlist, we will introduce the idea of specialized mission chains in an Astroneer Academy 203 Extra, though that discussion is not mandatory for today's course. This specialized mission chain can be tricky, however, as it technically will not appear in your mission log until after you have completed a xenobiology mission in an Astroneer Academy 205 mission. There is a way to get around this prerequisite, however, though this shortcut also involves a topic that we won't be discussing until Astroneer Academy 201 when we introduce space travel. These prerequisites make it difficult to find the best placement for today's discussion, as they do not fit neatly into our course structure. Granted, if you are following this series of courses as they are released and not in their order in the course playlist, then all of this will have already been discussed. Regardless, since the two items we're discussing today are related to basic transportation, we have decided to slot this course here, even if doing so is far from ideal. With that long introduction out of the way, let's move on to how you can activate the Alert New Schematic Available mission. You will first need to visit the North Pole of Glacio and look in the area around the large purple structure known as a gateway chamber. We will be discussing gateway chambers further in Astroneer Academy 206, but for today, you just need to know it's this huge purple thing. You should be able to easily spot another large structure that is surrounded by dark terrain similar to that you find underneath your starting shelter. This structure is an installed platform, and it is holding some debris and an extra large resource canister, things we will discuss in an Astroneer Academy 204 Extra. Yeah, I think you're beginning to see why it was hard to figure out where to slot today's course. Anyway, on one arm of the installed platform, you will find Data Circuit Model A 1 of 5. Pick it up, and you will receive a notification of a new mission. While this mission has the same name as the one we will be completing today, it is not the actual mission we need to complete. Instead, take a look at the locations provided. The very last location mentions the equator of Atrox, so now we need to head there. We will be discussing these specialized mission chains in greater detail in Astroneer Academy 305, so if you're having trouble, sit tight, we'll get there. Once you arrive at the installed platform on the equator of Atrox, you will discover it contains not one, but two data circuits. One of these is Data Circuit Model B 5 of 5, and picking it up will alert you to yet another mission that is also named Alert New Schematic Available. If you take a look at this mission, you will see it has different rewards and different locations you must visit to collect all 5 of the Data Circuit Model B. These data circuits will be located on massive structures known as Parkade Pads. While more than one may appear on each planet or moon mentioned in the mission we just unlocked, they will not appear on Glacio or Desolo. Additionally, these Parkade Pads cannot be created, and you cannot package or even move the ones that do exist. So, what are they? Well, the term Parkade Pad is simply another name that can be used for parking garage, parking deck, indoor parking, or any of the other names that they are known by back on Earth. Given the ramps leading up to them and the large, flat area they offer, I think Exodynamics intended for these to serve as parking structures for our vehicles. The base of each of the 4 columns supporting the roof contain a power cable plug on each side, and there is a single power cable plug on each side of the body of the main structure that does not contain a ramp. There are also 3 small Tier 1 storage slots located along the upper edge of the roof. While these massive structures are impressive, their utility is somewhat questionable. Please indulge me as I venture into sharing my own opinion instead of sticking to the facts as we typically do in Astroneer Academy. The Parkade Pad can probably go a long way toward resolving an issue some astroneers encounter when their rovers seemingly vanish, only to be later rediscovered deep underground. This is one of many glitches that can appear in our training simulation and can be incredibly frustrating when it happens. The workaround to this glitch is to park your rover on top of a platform so it can't fall through the terrain. The Parkade Pad is absolutely perfect for this, especially since it's large enough to accommodate several vehicles. The problem, as I see it, is that we are limited on where we can use them. To truly take advantage of them in any meaningful way, you would need to build your base near enough to one of the Parkade Pads so you can actually access your land vehicles from your base. Since the Parkade Pads cannot be created and placed wherever we wished, or even packaged or moved, their fixed locations become a limiting factor that, I feel, greatly diminishes their usefulness. Hopefully, Exodynamics will rectify this in a future update to the training simulation and allow us to create these and place them as we wish. Beyond that, however, the power cable plugs are a nice visual touch, lending to the credibility of this structure being a parking platform. But let's be honest here. Unless you are relying on numerous batteries as your sole source of power for your land vehicles, recharging the vehicles is not really an issue. As we discussed in Astroneer Academy 106, you will most likely want to implement a reliable power producer for your rover class vehicles to prevent you from becoming stranded. If you rely on batteries alone, you not only risk becoming stranded, but you will also consume a great deal of storage on these vehicles, reducing their overall usefulness. So the Parkade Pads are nice to look at, but their usefulness is fairly questionable unless you are willing to move your existing base or construct an entirely new one surrounding them. Moving on from the Parkade Pads, the Alert new schematic mission for the Data Circuit Model B also mentions the large Rover Seat B as a reward. Completing this mission is the only way to unlock the schematic for this rover seat. No amount of bytes will unlock it in the research catalog. You will need to visit all 5 Parkade Pads mentioned in the mission requirements to obtain all 5 of the Data Circuit Model B to complete the mission. You may have received these data circuits as incremental rewards during limited time events. If you have, you can simply pick up each of the 5 Model B variants to complete the mission. However you go about completing the mission, once you do, you can claim your rewards via a mission log on any landing pad. That will reward you with the unlock for the large Rover Seat B and will give you one that you can begin using. If you wish to create additional large Rover Seat Bs, you can do so on the medium printer from 1 compound and 2 plastic. When unpacked, it is a large Tier 3 item that can be attached to any Tier 3 or larger storage slot. Functionally, the large Rover Seat B is essentially identical to the other large Rover Seat that we discussed in Astroneer Academy 106. It can seat up to 3 astroneers and allows you to control the rover it is attached to. The only difference between the two are their attachment points. While the original large rover seat attaches from the bottom, this one attaches from the area behind the seat itself, allowing you to mount it to the front of a rover and face forward. When attached to a rover, the forward direction will be determined by the direction the front of this rover seat is facing. That means you can easily swap forwards for reverse by simply moving the rover seat to the other end of a large rover. The large Rover Seat B can also be attached to the storage inside of a large shuttle, allowing you to add additional seating to the shuttle. Today, you have learned about Parkade Pads and the large Rover Seat B, and also discovered that, despite our best efforts, not every topic that we will cover in Astroneer Academy will fall neatly into a specific category. If you are following our courses through the playlist, your next course will be Astroneer Academy 201, space travel. If you are following the courses as they were released, however, then Astroneer Academy is on a short break as we prepare for our third semester of courses. You will, however, be treated to a special behind-the-scenes video fairly soon. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to keep looking to the stars.